Now we proceed with the first intervention. At the end of the three speech of the distinguished panelists present here on the podium, there will be a round of question and answer that you can prepare. And when preparing your question, you have even to address to whom the question is addressed. And now I'm giving the floor to Mr. Munir Mengar, who will have his speech and a PowerPoint presentation that it will help to follow his speech. Thank you, Munir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'm just going to give a brief overview on the state of the Baloch movement. So first of all, I would like to give an insight on the backdrop. Balochi is divided among three countries because of imperial designs. From Cameraman in west to Multan in the east, and from river Helmand in the north till the Arabian Sea in the south. So the population shows that the Pakistan, in the Pakistan region, which is nearly 43% of the land is Balochistan, and which has been occupied by the Pakistan on 1948, there are nearly 8 million Baloch population, and on the Iran land there's 1.5, which is actually Baloch land which Irani forces have occupied. And on Afghanistan, so there's nearly 5, 6, 7,000 Baloch people. In Oman there's 25,000, and in UAE there's 100,000. So presence in Turkmenistan, Kuwait, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Bahrain, all these show that the Baloch nation has been distributed intentionally on different in different parts of the land. So due to different reasons, there has been continuous occupation, plus there has been migration of the Baloch people due to other reasons as well. So secondly, there's a map of the Balochistan, and here you see how the land of the Balochistan is distributed among three countries. So this is the part which seems to be from Cameraman to Multan. It starts from Zahedan and all these region. So on the upside we see the Afghanistan to until this region, this Kandahar, a little bit down to the Kandahar, that's also Baloch land, and we go downside, so there's Gulf Sea. So all this region has been an asset of the Baloch people. So Balochis of Pakistan. So there has been a post-colonial period. So all of us are very well aware of the Baloch post-colonial period, that the Baloch has been ruling their own land as a sovereign nation for thousands of years, and they have a complete civilized structure of their land, culture, history, traditions, and each and other things. So the scenario comes from 1947, when there was forced occupation of the Baloch land by the Pakistani forces. So it starts from 1948. So 1947 was the period. During that time, the imperialist forces started thinking how to distribute this region. Then there was the second Baloch movement in 1958. The first was led by Agha Abdul Karim Khan, and the second 1958 till 62. During that time, there was heavy and brutal assassination of the Baloch people by Pakistan Armed Forces, Pakistan Air Forces, and there was heavy bombardment on the Baloch land during that time. And the third Baloch movement started 1973 till 1977. So as per different reports, nearly in this period, third period, nearly more than 25,000 Baloch were killed. Then the fourth Baloch movement started in 1999, and so it continued till 2005, when Nawab Akbar Bukti was killed. So during this time, there was a great there's a great you can say awareness with respect to the Baloch people. They got understanding now what is the intention of the occupied forces. So after that, the complete scenario has been changed, because after that there was a complete resistance on each and every form, including the mass awareness, plus human rights, plus there was resistance, and the resistance got a great rhythm from 2005 till now. So in this period we have certainly lost all thousands of Baloch brothers, sisters, whether they have been killed or they have been abducted or they are illegally imprisoned or tortured, so in various manners. Then the then the present scenario comes. Despite departure of Musharraf and fall of army rule condition in Balochistan has deteriorated, the rate of forced disappearances, the cases of torture and repression have gone up. Now, there was a time when the people were thinking that due to this army regime and the Musharraf regime, that the people of the Balochistan, they have risen up a resistance, and as the army regime goes up and a democratic government comes, so there will be some sort of a new period. During that time, we will appease all Balochs to come down. But despite of all that, we see that the Baloch resistance has grown up more. So this has not dampened the indomitable spirit of the Baloch nation. The Baloch people have risen like phoenix from the ashes to challenge the might of the fifth largest and the most brutal army in the world. So Baloch women have also joined the struggle with a great zeal and vigor. This is another great thing which we have seen, and especially I think the human rights organizations and all those have given reports with respect to different Baloch females. Either they have been kidnapped or tortured or they are missing. So as per various reports, still more than 250 Baloch women are missing or disappeared in torture cells. And my own, you can say, a story about whatever happened with me in the army torture cells, including the issue of Zarina Murray. From that we get a great insight about the Baloch females, that how they are participating. Currently we have Baloch Khawateen panel, and we have Baloch student female human rights and political activists. So all this is a great thing for us, that all people are trying to raise their voice against the occupied forces and trying to struggle for their land, for their history, for their culture, and for their rights. The young generation is more determined today than ever before to realize the dreams of their parents and to free themselves from the yoke of foreign rule. So after this, and there's a wording of the Baloch students organization which I want to use in Balochi. It says that तहरीक बगैर इल्म व किताब के वहशीपन है. It means that any sort of struggle without an ideology, without following a book of thoughts, is just a terrorism. So the Baloch struggle is through an ideology and is following the books of thoughts. It's not something just a struggle. So this is a great thing in the history of the struggle of nations for their freedom, where the youth especially itself analyzes the scene like this, that the tahrik without ideology is nothing. So the brutalities of the state has proven the wordings of a student leader, which I want to quote here. I know that the state does not give me the right to live with dignity and honor, but it cannot take away my right to die for the cause of my nation. And this is the spirit which we see today in every Baloch, whether he is a youth or is an old man, where we see the Nawab Akbar Khan Bukti Shaheed, that he gave his life with the honor and dignity, and where we see the great Baloch youth leaders, and they are also coming on the field with a great vigor and honor, and where we see the Baloch females, they are actively participating in this resistance, because they see this thing and they realize this thing, that we have to live a life with great dignity and honor. Without this, there is nothing for us, and there is no purpose of life without living in honor and dignity. Now I come to some silent features. Baloch people have never accepted forced annexation. So this is from the history we see it that whenever there has been a forced annexation, whether from external forces, Baloch people have resisted it at any cost, whether they have given their lives, their wealth, each and everything, so they have never accepted the annexation. And this thing was happened in 1948 when Pakistani forces tried to occupy the Baloch land. The Baloch people under the leadership of Agha Abdul Karim Khan started resistance against the forced annexation. Pakistani wants the territory of the Balochistan and not the people living there. So this is another silent feature that by all the history of the 60 plus years, we have seen that the Pakistan intention and the Pakistan strategy and the Pakistan policies are that we have to utilize the Baloch land and the resources of the Baloch land, not the Baloch people. So they are never ever ready to give anything to the Baloch people. They are just trying to snatch the resources of the Baloch people. Baloch resources have been used to strengthen Balochi plight has largely gone unnoticed at the international level. So this is another issue that we have seen from the last decade, that the Baloch resistance is getting a great rhythm in the Balochistan and the Baloch, but we see that international at the international level they are just unnoticing this Balochistan cause because of their own interests. So this thing pinches us, this thing pinches every Baloch, that why the international community is ignoring the Baloch cause. So what is the reason? Either there is something in our ideology or there's something in our history, or what's the reason why they are unnoticing our this cause? Just for their own interest. And this thing happened to this whole region in 1947, and today the whole world security is on a threat because of that interest game. Despite the use of brutal force to suppress the Baloch movement, the Balochis have shown greater devotion and commitment to their just cause. And this has been proven, and why we are here today, because this the state brutalities have urged us to come and think, and that's why we are here. And it's a great proof for all of us that the Balochis have never given up. So Balochis have failed to come together. Yes, this is a fact. We see it everywhere that we are not united, and the world is asking us to unite. And for that we have to sit together, and we have to draw a structure roadmap for us, that how we can get together closer, and we start a struggle for the Balochistan and the Baloch land and for the Baloch people for independence jointly with unity and great honor and dignity. So there is an increasing realization that we need to come together, forget our differences, and work towards the singular goal of independence. Yes, this is a fact that where there is an aggression, and especially by such a terrorist country, such terrorist ideology like Pakistan, which means that Pakistan means La ilaha illallah Muhammad. Certainly it has made some sort of strategic policies in order to divide us. We see this division among the Baloch people because of the state policies, that the state is utilizing its all resources in order to divide us, not to leave the Baloch to unite for a just and a single cause of independence. And so until now, unfortunately, they think that they have won, but we think that the state is going to fail with respect to this policy. In this struggle, we seek the help of the world community to secure our identity, culture, and our existence. Yes, of course, we see that on all forums, whether in Geneva, Brussels, or anywhere in the world, we see the Balochs are trying to convince the world community that please help us to secure our ideology, our identity, culture, and existence. And for that purpose, today we are here as well. So there's a wording from a Baloch poet and writer. He was Ghulam Rasul Mullah. In 1939, he has said it: if you see the sun red and redness in flowers, these must be the blood of my people. So I'm sorry to say it, that today we see everywhere red flowers of Baloch blood. Thank you.
Thank you to Munir. And now the floor is to Tariq Baloch, who will speak on the question of past, present, and future of the Balochistan.